We've got the conference season starting on Thursday. Are you pleased with the way your team is coming into the conference season?
I am. I know we talked about it some last week. I'm pleased with the way we finished up the non-conference. I think we've done a very good job handling some adversity this season with some player injuries and things of that nature. Really like the chemistry of our team. I like how hard we play. I like the togetherness of our team. So I think we've put ourselves in a good position as league play starts. But all 12 teams are 0-0. It's a fresh start for everybody, and we just have to stay focused, continuing to get better, and prepare for Morehead State on Thursday.
With a team like Morehead State that's second in OVC and offensive rebounding, how important is it for you, especially with this team kind of struggling defensive rebounding? Like, how important are you drilling in practice this week to prepare for a team like that?
Well, I think we've talked about it a lot. That's an area we want to continue to show major improvement in, is our ability to limit second shot opportunities for our opponents. So I think it's going to be very important all season long. I think the rebounding stats are critical to our success. So we'll continue to emphasize it and try to get better.
I know this sounds like a silly question. I know you want everybody rebounding, but are there critical guys that you want emphatically rebounding? Shaq had 7 against Bethel. I know Jaw's a good rebounder. Are there specific guys you wanting collecting the rebounds to push the offense up the court?
Well, overall, everybody has to get better at the defensive end of the floor. We've been an outstanding offensive rebounding team. I think that's been one of our strengths. But overall, I think since Anthony's injury, our starting backcourt's averaging around 16 rebounds a game. All 3 guys over 5+, which is very good for perimeter. So continue to challenge our front court to have guys step forward there. And like I say, have done a very good job on the offensive glass, but I do think there's room for improvement in the front court on the defensive glass.
You made the switch with KJ this week. Are you happy with that going forward and how he did? And then also, is Mike better suited coming off of the bench in that role that he had?
Well, I think KJ has been outstanding since he earned his way into more playing time following the injury to Anthony. His production in those 6 games has been really, really good and very efficient at the offensive end, and I think he's made a lot of improvement at the defensive end of the floor. As I told Mike, that coming off the bench on Saturday was not a demotion. He's a major part of what we're doing. I did want him to come in and play with a little bit more confidence. I thought he seemed a little bit uptight in a couple previous games, and I thought he did a nice job on Saturday. But as far as the lineup going forward, it's just like it is every day. We have 3 big days of practice going into Morehead, and opportunities are always available for guys to increase their role within the team.
You've got 4 post players averaging between 15, 22 minutes a game, and I know you've always talked about it doesn't really matter who starts and who finishes and so on and so forth, but the different combinations that you've been able to throw out with those 4 guys, how exciting is that for you, knowing that you've got kind of a Swiss Army knife of opportunity there?
Well, I really like our front court. I like the pieces that we have there. I think we have great size and strength up front. I think we have versatility. We have skilled offensive players. We have excellent defensive players, like a guy like Breon Sanchez. I think there's a good mix. We have Darnell's offensive firepower coming off the bench, which I think you continue to see his role increase because of his improvement, not only in the games, but more importantly in practice. So I've been very pleased with our front court. I think just like every player on our team, we all have room for growth and to get better, but I think we're trending in the right direction there.
Talking about Court, where are some of the areas that he's improved the most over the last several weeks? Because it seems like he's, like you said, he's stepping up each and every game the last couple.
Well, he's always been a very skilled offensive player. He's got great hands, great footwork. I think his conditioning has improved. And he's worked extremely hard to get to this point. He's lost almost 40 pounds since he got to campus this summer. And I think as his conditioning continues to improve, he'll be able to play in longer stretches. And just like most first-year players in the program, just continuing to learn at the defensive end of the floor, and I think he's making a lot of progress there as well.
You get Eastern Kentucky on Saturday. Have you had a chance to look at them yet?
Well, again, just as a reminder, we just go one game at a time, and so it's no slight to them, but our whole focus is on Morehead State. That's kind of our approach to the conference play. We spend Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Monday is all about Murray State, getting our team better from the previous games. Then Tuesday, Wednesday, we prepare for Thursday, and then Friday and Saturday we prepare for that Saturday night game. But have obviously followed them. We know with Nick Mayo, one of the top front court players in all of America. I think much the way Coach Figger at Austin Peay re-energized their program last year. I think Coach Hamilton's done the same thing at EKU. They play extremely hard. They're one of the fastest playing teams in the country. They're third in the country, averaging over 81 possessions a game, which is really an incredibly high number. Full court pressure, very aggressive for 40 minutes. And I think playing extremely hard, playing with a lot of confidence. I think Coach Hamilton's done a terrific job and obviously has one of the country's top players to build around.
What's the biggest thing that jumps off the page at Morehead State when you look at them?
I think there are three weapons. They're experienced. When you talk about Harris in the front court, one of the more versatile players in our league, very efficient and then versatile scorer. Walker in the backcourt, junior, has played a lot since the day he got on campus there, can really score. I think he's right around 16 a game, can shoot it, can also score off the bounce. And then another experienced player in Hicks at the point, who really played very well against us last year, scored 19 against us here at our place last season. So those three guys have really led them this year. As I've already let our players know, the record's very deceiving. They've played a top 40 schedule in the country, so they've really challenged themselves in the non-conference. And one of the things that's always stood out to me in my time here is that the Morehead State team, they always play extremely hard and very tough-minded defensive team. So I think they present plenty of problems for us that we have to prepare for this week.
Talking to Rochelle, she talked to her team about how their mindset changes going into conference play. Does your mindset change at all going into conference play, or is it just like you approach non-conference?
Yeah, no, I think everything stays the same. We try to be pretty simple in how we approach the game, how we approach every day in practice. Obviously, we want to focus on winning every possession, winning every 4-minute segment, and then just staying focused on the task at hand. And I think that's what's critical as you get into league play. If you start worrying about where you're going to be in February or what seed you might be in the tournament, you're going to be in big trouble. So our guys have done a very nice job so far this season, just staying focused on the next most important thing. And for right now, that's us getting better today at practice and preparing for Morehead State on Thursday.
In the theme of New Year's Eve, what would you consider to be a resolution for this team going into 2019?
I don't ever do any resolutions. I just want us to stay focused on getting better every day and continuing to build our team. That's the goal every day for us. That's what's most important, I think. I've really enjoyed coaching this team. We've got great character in our locker room. We have unselfishness. We have toughness. We have a lot of the traits that I think go into building a winning team. And we just have to stay committed and focused to those things and keep getting better as the season progresses.
As the season's gone on, Ja has gotten more and more attention nationally, whether it's a play that makes ESPN or anything like that. And we talked to him about how he's handled it. He says he's very humble about it. But how have you handled it as his head coach and helping him kind of go through that, or at all?
Oh, it doesn't change anything for me. I think I've been really impressed with how he's handled it. I think it's a lot of lessons we can all learn from it. I think he's been very humble. I think he's been very committed to the team. I think he's been very committed to continue to learn and grow as a leader. And really getting to see him step into that role has been a lot of fun. I think he's handled it exceptionally well. We're going to continue to challenge him. I've said it before. I think he'll, if he's not already, he's going to be one of the best basketball players in all of the world. And we want to challenge him every day to continue to keep getting better in all areas of his game.
Coach, I know you've been supremely honed in and focused on Murray State as a whole going to the non-conference slate, but have you taken a look or even been remotely impressed with how the rest of the OVC has shaped up in non-conference play and the type of schedules they have played coming into? You talked about Morehead battle-tested, Jacksonville State's battle-tested, Belmont. Does that mean anything to you, or does that have any value?
Yeah, I'll be honest, I really haven't followed it, so I'd be exaggerating and making stuff up if I even commented. We've just been dialed in to trying to get Murray State to be the best team we can be and preparing for Morehead State on Thursday.